Hello, welcome dear young people. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope you're curious about what I'm going to talk about today. If you're ready, let's begin. What does it mean to build wealth? And how can we build it? If the coffee is ready and your minds are open, I'm starting. Most people think the only way to build wealth is to earn more money. But the truth is, it's not that simple. In fact, many times it's the opposite. Look, the difference between someone with a net worth of $50,000 and someone with $500,000 is often not their salary. The real difference is their decisions. Small decisions made over many years, small choices, eventually lead to completely different financial outcomes. Let me give you an interesting example. In the United States, the average household earns about $84,000 per year. But when you look at people who are around 60 years old, the median net worth is about $400,000. For people who have worked their entire lives, that's not an extremely large number. However, when you look at the average net worth for the same age group, it is around $1.8 million. The same country, the same economy, the same years, but completely different outcomes. Why? Because many of the people with higher net worth didn't earn dramatically more than everyone else. They simply managed their money better. Instead of spending their money, they put it to work. So the real issue is not an income difference. It's a behavior difference. The good news is this. The things that separate these people are not secret formulas. They are not secrets taught only to the wealthy. These are simple principles that anyone can learn. The bad news is this. Most people either never learn these principles, or they learn them but never apply them. Today, I'm going to explain the most effective ways to grow your net worth in 2026. And believe me, if you apply even one of these consistently, your financial direction can change. Let's start with the first rule, the 1% rule. One of the fastest ways to build wealth is actually very simple. Reduce unnecessary spending. The 1% rule provides a good framework for this. The idea is simple. For any discretionary purchase that is larger than 1% of your net worth, stop and think twice. If your net worth is $20,000, pause before spending more than $200. If your net worth is $50,000, $500. If it is $100,000, $1,000. Now let me explain why this matters. Let's say your net worth is $20,000, and every month you make impulsive purchases worth about $200. That's $2,400 per year. It looks small, right? But in reality, that $2,400 represents about 12% of your net worth, and you're doing this every year. Now imagine doing this for 40 years. And also consider that the money could have grown if it had been invested. The result? About $670,000 in lost wealth. Yes, young people, one single habit. $670,000. So where do these expenses come from? It's very simple. You have a bad day, you go shopping. A friend buys something new, you want it too. You see a discount. And suddenly, it feels like the world will end if you miss it. Social media shows you products you didn't even know existed, and before you realize it, you're adding them to your cart. But these are not financial decisions. These are emotional reactions. The 1% rule doesn't tell you to never buy anything. It simply says, pause, think. Sometimes you stop, think, and decide it is actually worth buying. That's fine. But in that case, the purchase becomes a conscious decision instead of a reflex. This rule is especially important for people whose net worth is under $100,000, because at that stage, building wealth is harder, and every dollar matters more. Let me give you a small trick. When you want to buy something important, wait 1 week. Very often, something that looked necessary on Tuesday will not look so necessary by the next Tuesday. Now let's move to the second strategy. Unexpected money. Throughout life, unexpected money appears from time to time. tax refunds, work bonuses, inheritance, side income, gifts, cashback rewards, money from selling unused items, forgotten reimbursements. What wealthy people do with this money is very simple. They behave as if that money never arrived, and they invest it immediately. Most people do the opposite. A $3,000 tax refund arrives, and shopping plans begin. A bonus arrives. Time to upgrade something. An inheritance arrives. Within a few months, it disappears into lifestyle spending. Let me suggest a more balanced approach. Spend 10% of unexpected money, but invest 90%. For example, if you receive a $3,000 tax refund each year and invest $2,700 of it, after 20 years, that money could grow to around $130,000. And that money came from something you never even planned. There is also a small psychological trick. Don't let that money enter your regular bank account. Send it directly to your investment account. Because young people, you don't spend money you never see. Now let's move to the third strategy. Perhaps the most important number in wealth building. The gap between income and expenses. The bigger this gap is, the faster wealth grows. There are two ways to increase it: earn more or spend less. The best option is to do both, but something changed in 2026. In the past, people who switched jobs could often get a 10 to 15% salary increase. Today, the difference is almost gone. People who change jobs receive about a 4.8% raise. Those who stay receive about 4.6%. The difference is very small. That's why today the real money comes from high-value skills. For example, data analysis, specialized trades like electrical work or welding, video editing, digital marketing. Many people spend their evenings and weekends learning these skills and manage to double their income within 1 or 2 years. Because there is a simple truth. General skills, average income. Specialized skills, higher income. On the spending side, there are 3 big monsters: cars, houses, and vacations. According to data, the annual cost of owning a new car is about $11,500. The yearly maintenance cost of a home is around $21,000. The average vacation costs around $7,000. I'm not telling you to stop drinking coffee, but real savings usually come from big decisions. For example, keeping your car for 3 more years. That alone could save you about $30,000. That alone could save you about $30,000. And that money could grow much larger when invested. So instead of focusing on small things, focus on the big numbers. Now let's talk about another important habit: tracking your net worth. About 67% of Americans never track their net worth. In other words, they don't know where they financially stand. Calculating net worth is actually very simple. Add up everything you own. Subtract everything you owe. Assets, cash, investments, home value, retirement accounts, liabilities, credit card debt, car loans, mortgages, student loans. The formula is simple: assets minus liabilities. I recommend tracking it every 3 months instead of every month, because awareness creates action. Once you start tracking a number, you also start trying to improve it. And the truth is this, young people: wealth is not built with secret formulas. It is built by applying simple principles consistently for many years. Track your net worth. Increase the gap between your income and expenses. Automate your investments. Use tax advantages. Think before spending. Invest unexpected money. And over time, you will see something happen. That number that once looked small will slowly grow. Then it will start to accelerate. And one day it will begin to give you options. And that's when you will understand something important. Wealth is not just money. It is freedom. And remember, young people, the best day to start was years ago. But the second best day is today. Thank you for listening. I hope we meet again. Take care and stay well.